Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Anything Blows. My name is Andrew and today I'm proud to be at TKO Boxing Club in Barking. Not only that, but I'm proud to be with George O'Leary. George is set to fight for the Commonwealth Silver Light Heavyweight title against James Osborne. George, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. Just finished a nice training session, good old sweat up. You know, we're ready to go, and it's 5 weeks already, man. Ready to go. So we're ready to go now. Yeah.
Love to hear it. So, I introduced it a little bit at the start, but just for the fans to get to know, what gym do you train at, and who do you train with, and who's your head coach?
I train in TKO Barking in Dagenham. My head coach is Ian. My other coaches are Nikki and Brian. So yeah, we're a good little team. We've been together for about 2 years. More of a family unit, I would say. Definitely see these people as my family. They're there for me no matter what, whether it's to do with boxing or personal life. It's nice to have people that care about you.
And how good is it to have a tight-knit community, not only in the gym, but to have people that have been with you before you started your pro career and now continue to take you into the pro scene and going on to your first title fight?
Yeah, it's special. It's a special connection with other people because not every family member has to be by blood, and the ones that ain't are there for good reasons. And that in itself, I can't thank people enough, and they appreciate it so much. Words can't put it into description of how nice that is. Do you know what I mean? So it's perfect. So these people on Zoom.
I love to hear it. And how's training gone for this camp, and would you call this the best camp of your professional career?
I would definitely say this is the best camp. No injuries, fit as a fiddle, very, very strong, very excited.
And do you feel any pressure? This is going to be your first 10 round at fight for the Commonwealth Silver Light Heavyweight title. Do you feel any pressure that there's a title on the line, a 10 rounder, or do you take it as any other fight?
No pressure at all. The more rounds, the better. The more aggressive the opponent, the better. We're coming for it all.
I love to hear it. And talk a little bit about your opponent, James Osborne. How do you evaluate him as a fighter, and do you see a knockout coming in this fight, or do you see it going full 10 rounds?
I'll take it as it comes. If it walks onto a shot, it walks onto a shot. Not too much to say, to be honest, but I'll let my hands do the talking. You'll see on December the 9th, if everyone doesn't know what day it is already, we're coming for the action, we're coming for everything.
December the 9th is going to be a historic date because it's going to be the date you win your first ever professional title. How much does it mean to you to fight for the Commonwealth Silver Light Heavyweight title?
It means a lot. It's not quite a world title yet, but it's a step in the right direction. Any title, I mean, it's not about the titles or the money or nothing like that. I want to provide my family with the life that I believe they deserve. They've given me love in abundance, shall we say, and to give my mum and dad, my brothers, the life I want to give them. This means everything to me.
I love to hear that. And you mentioned family there. Let's go back a little bit. Where did the desire come from for George O'Leary to become a professional boxer?
Well, I was in college when I was about 17 years old. Tony Cisse came in. I was not a naughty kid, but the kids, they wanted to listen more. They thought they could get a boxing coach in to make them, let's say, a little bit more, not clever, shall we say, but to adhere to the ideas of working more. We get a nice little boxing session. A lot of the other kids was going out, having fags, smoking, in between the boxing sessions and not really taking any sort of interest. But I was the only one stuck in there and really, really giving interest to Tony Cisse. He asked me to come down to TKO that was in Canning Town before this one. Went down there and never looked back since. We've done the amateurs and come away from Tony. Me and my dad did the unlicensed together. We had 9 unlicensed fights. One of them with 5 knockouts. We've got 4 belts in that one, so I'm not a stranger to getting belts. This will be my 5th one I'll be collecting December the 9th, just to let you guys know. So yeah, it's all exciting. I've been in title fights before, obviously not professional, but all professional is compared to unlicensed is a little signature, do you know what I mean? A few brain scans, it's no different to, you're still in there fighting the opponent, so yeah.
And just before we go on to December the 9th, talk a little bit about your amateur record and what were your amateur achievements?
Amateurs, I had a handful of amateur fights, not many, I think about 15. I boxed in the Haringey Box Cup, the novices, so it wasn't a great experience. I'm not a very experienced person. I started boxing when I was 17. I'm 29 now, so this is the time to really push. I'd say in the sport I've got to about 30, 35, 36, but then again you get some great champions out of that 38 now, so You don't really know.
You mentioned out there, I believe 38 or 39, Badu Jack, so age is just a number. Just before we go back onto December the 9th, who else other than your family inspired you in boxing? We see Muhammad Ali around here. Who are your idols growing up in boxing?
Oh, I've got to say, not everyone agrees with this, but Nassim Hamid and Roy Jones Jr., I used to watch them religiously. It's excitement. When people go to a show, they pay money to see excitement. They want to see knockouts, they want to see flashy styles. They don't want to go there and be like, oh, that was a good fight. Do you know what I mean? I want to go there and be really excited. That's a great fight. I mean, I'm not going to start front flipping into the ring, but you never know.
I love to hear it. How special is it for you to fight at the Brentwood Centre at top tier on December the 9th and talk about their shows?
I mean, Johnny Clark's doing amazing things. He's taking small hall boxing to another level. He's making the people that have not got the best following or the best backgrounds of boxing with the experience wise, and he's making them feel like world champions at a lower level of their boxing career. So Johnny Clark's doing amazing things, and I hope he carries on to go to the big halls, because I doubt it will stop just at these little small hall shows with how great it is. I've never seen nothing like it in my life.
I love to hear it. And another thing I want to mention to you there is, why do you fight, and who's your biggest motivation in this world? When times get tough, when times get dark, who keeps you going, and what's the reason you fight for?
The reason I fight is because in my belief there's nothing else in life. Without boxing I'd have nothing. I could go and get a job, a 9 to 5, I could have a wife, children and a family like that, but that's not what I want. I want to fight and get to the best. I want to fight and get to the top. I mean, it's exciting. When I know I've got a hard fight coming up, that excites me even more than knowing that I've not got a hard fight coming up. Do you know what I mean? The harder the opponent, the more excited I get, because I want to see how much I can push myself, really.
And do you agree with the 50-50 fights that Johnny Clark puts on?
Yeah, 100%. I think that if you're not having a 50-50 fight and you just keep fighting journeyman your whole career, I mean, it's exciting for the first 5 fights maybe, but after that, people become wise to it. Do you know what I mean? You need to have these hard fights, because if you keep having these easy fights, when you do get that test, it could be game over.
After it, and one step at a time, God willing, you win the Commonwealth Silver Light Heavyweight title. Where do you go on from here? Do you go on for the Commonwealth Light Heavyweight title? Do you go on to fight other contenders? Where are you looking to push on, and where do you see your career in the next few years? I would say 5 years, but one step at a time, as you said.
I would say that I'm just going to take the best opportunities that present itself to me. Stay fit, stay strong and healthy, and every fight that comes up, I'll just analyse it and see what is the best route for me to go.
Another thing I wanted to ask you here, I've watched the presser, I've watched the face-to-face. What was the reason behind having that mask?
I'm the machine, that's why.
I love to hear it. Another thing, going off of the boxing, a little bit off of your fight, I want to ask you, what is your message for young people, whether it be men, women, boys, girls? What is your message to the youth coming into boxing, and why should they not be afraid to step into the boxing gym?
Because at the end of the day, it gives you purpose in life. When you're finding it hard mentally, you have an outlet. Do you know what I mean? Coming to the gym, after you've been in the gym and you've sweated, you're gonna feel great. You might be sitting indoors overthinking stuff, going through hard times, but the boxing, for me, it heals everything. Training, sweating, having a hard sparring, it's a reality check. When you get punched in the face, it changes you, man. You know what I mean? It's exciting for me to get punched in the face. As bad as it seems, I used to hate it when I first started, but now, the harder you hit me, the more you excite me.
I love to hear it. Another question I want to ask you here, which whilst I have the opportunity to ask you, is you faced off with him, you done the face-to-face, and you also done the face-to-face via the head-to-head. You done the head-to-head as well. Do you ever feel like you ever want to shove the guy, you want to push the guy, you want to hit the guy, or how do you stay calm and composed and realize tunnel vision and fight nights on Saturday?
I mean, you don't get paid for overtime in this job, and it's nice to be respectful. At the end of the day, someone has their, or should we say James had his family there, his kiddie and his missus. Well, I'm not going to start shoving someone or getting disrespectful. I mean, that's not boxing. Boxing is a gentleman's sport, and that's the way it should be. You fight when you get in the ring, and the only one that stops it is the referee. Once you're in the ring, you shouldn't be pushing and shoving. I mean, that might happen in the future. If someone pushes me, I'm not going to stand there and be like, oh, sorry, but I won't start stuff like that. I think that's it's embarrassing.
I love to hear it. And another question I want to ask you that has just come to mind. The light heavyweight division in the United Kingdom is stacked. Anthony Yard, Dan Aziz, Joshua Buatsy, so many greats, and the domestic scene is stacked. I want to ask you there, if that fight played out, who do you have had winning, Buatsy or Aziz, if it ever comes to fruition in soon?
I've not watched too much of either of the guys. I know, well, I've watched a little bit, like a little highlights here or there, might have caught a bit on TV. I know Dan Aziz has got that dog in him. He's a very hard worker, and he'll fight to the death. And Buatsy, he's a very skillful fighter. From the little what I've seen from him, he's very skillful. I couldn't really pick a winner. I'd have to study both of the fighters. But even if you study people or you know people, one punch can change everything in boxing.
And another light heavyweight fight that's coming up in January for 3 of the marbles, 3 of the world titles is Artur Beterbiev versus Callum Smith. Do you think Callum Smith can not only be the only Brit to dethrone the king, but do you think he can win the world titles in the Canadian's hometown?
It all depends what a man's put into his training camp and what his mentality is, what he's going through, and yeah, I couldn't really speak for that situation, to be honest. Just got to see what happens on the night.
Penultimate question, just before I let you go, I want to ask you, what is your one motivational message to the world to block out the outside noise, block out the haters, block out the negativity, and for people to follow and pursue their dreams?
I think you've just hit the nail on the head with what you've just said, to be honest. Yeah, 100%. Focus on what you've got to be focused on, because when we die, nothing anyone said, anyone done, or anything is going to matter. So at the end of the day, enjoy your life. You've got one life. Don't be horrible to people, be nice to everyone, and be a respectful person, and just get on with your own stuff. Don't worry about what other people are saying or doing. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
I love to hear it, and you are correct in saying that we only have one life. When it's all said and done, as the famous quote goes, no regrets, and people live life with regrets. So everything you do in this world, you want to do with 100%. No matter what someone says, at the end of the day, if, like you say, in terms of boxing, if you've done this or you've done that, no one else is there to blame, because boxing is an individual sport. But other than that, everything we do in this world, we have to do for ourselves, not for other people. Last question, just before I let you go, George. What is your message to your British fans, your London fans, your Essex fans, your worldwide fans, and the fans that will be in the arena on December the 9th to, God willing, see you win and become the new Commonwealth Silver Light Heavyweight Champion?
My message is thank you very much for supporting my career. It means everything to me. Without the people supporting me, I couldn't do none of it. You've got to sell tickets as a professional fighter, otherwise the promoters are not interested. So everyone that supports me and everyone that shouts me, it cheers me on to really achieve something. Do you know what I mean? And I know people have not got to pay their money to come and see me. They could spend it on things for themselves or their family, but the people that do spend their hard-earned cash, I couldn't thank you enough. It's not easy out there, especially with the cost of living there. It's hard, but thank you so much to everyone that supports me. Subscribe to Anything Blows.
George, you've been holding something this whole interview. What is that in your hand?
It's to make me look sexy, mate.
You don't mind if I have a go?
Oh, come on, let's do it. See, I would do that, but I don't have any hair.
He's making me look good for us.
Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, George O'Leary.
Love, brother.